Steve and Jill here.
Hello, handsome.
Start the teleprompter again.
I'm sorry, y'all all messed up now. Did I totally blow your mojo
Who
there?
doesn't want to hear that?
Thank
Who doesn't want to
you.
hear hello handsome or hello beautiful?
Thank you.
I mean-
I concur.
I'm going to start the teleprompter for the third time. Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I am Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about what every wholesaler does wrong.
I love this topic.
So do I.
It's really good.
And it's simple.
It really is. Everybody's kind of going, okay, let me think. Did they not get it? The inspection? Did they miss something? But it's nothing like that.
Yep.
It's really good.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Katrina asks, hello, everyone. I have 2 questions I was hoping you could help me with. Question 1, the cash flow from land program. With the cash flow from land program, we focus our attention on rural vacant properties in counties with a low census population density. Am I right to assume that with infill lots, we want to avoid the low population density counties? Can you explain in greater detail the type of market we should try to target? Are we looking for a large population, million plus, medium population, 500,000 to 1 million, or small population, 200,000 to 500,000, or even rural populations? Do you want to do that one before I go to question 2?
Yes.
Okay.
The fact is this is a great question. Is it Katrina?
Mhm.
This is a fantastic question. Where would you logically, let's apply reason. You know, we're out constantly saying, just apply some logic, test for reason.
Exactly.
Where would you logically want to buy a buildable piece of property? And who are you going to sell it to? And then the answer to that question will give you the answer to where you should be sending out mail.
I want to buy in an area that there's building going on.
Good.
For
What else?
starters,
That's exactly right.
I don't want to buy in a subdivision that somebody started and never finished, and there's 3 of 100 homes built, and there's tons of extra info lots sitting there. I don't want that.
This is awesome. We're applying linear thinking here.
I want to go where the people want.
Keep going.
Maybe I have a buyer.
You nailed it.
Maybe.
You nailed it. You stop right there.
Okay.
You nailed it. In all cases, not just this, you want to buy property that's in high demand. That's why we review days on market, DOM, in massive amount of detail for infill lots. So can you buy super cheap, inexpensive property in a super rural area that's totally buildable? Absolutely. And can you buy it ultra cheap? Heck yes. You just need to put your helmet on because it's going to take a while to sell it, which is fine. There's a lot of people that do that in our group. They love sitting on an asset. They know they're going to make $50,000 on it, and it's going to take a year to sell it. And they just wait. And quite frankly, Jill and I have a couple assets like that we just know they're long-term holds.
It's okay.
But we know we're going to make a couple $100,000 on it.
Went into it like that.
Went into it like that with our eyes
Exactly.
open.
I have a question.
The very, very large, dense population areas always sell fastest, with the exception of Rust Belt type inner cities like Detroit. You want to stay out of that. Just steer clear of that forever. I mean, and I say that, and then people in our group, they go and make a lot of money doing that. So the real answer is this: buy property where everybody wants to buy property. Just buy it cheaper.
Okay. Before I get to question 2, I would like to ask you, what other situations do you recommend to put your helmet on? I have one, but I just was curious about your.
Since you brought it up, what
What's
is it
your
with these helmets
list?
these days?
What is your list about put your helmet
Sound
on?
like an old man here. All the stuff that I think you really need a helmet for. People just don't wear helmets. Like riding a bike down a street. I don't think you need a helmet for that.
Yeah.
Nobody wears a helmet skiing. I think that's the most dangerous thing I've ever seen.
That's true. You're right.
Like
Everybody
you should actually wear a motorcycle helmet while you're skiing.
Yeah. Good point. That's not exactly where I was going, but thank you.
Did you ever go to Mexico when you were younger and they put that hard hat on you?
No.
They I don't know if they do this anymore.
What were you doing?
The drinking age is different in Mexico than it is in this country. So I don't know about this, by the way. I've never personally experienced this. I've only read about it.
What's with the helmet thing? Put a helmet
There
on
are places in Mexico that you can go before you're 21, and they put a hard hat on you, and they take a mallet,
I've never
and they
seen
do
this.
a shot of tequila,
Steven, that's
and
awful.
hit your head on a mallet on the thing.
That's
Kinda
bad.
like a nest. Yeah.
That's damaging. No,
This is
no.
the thing, I'm telling you.
Oh, no,
Like,
no,
And you do
no.
it in a barber's chair.
That's awful. I hope that's done, and I've never heard of that. The only thing I've heard of in Mexico, again, never done it, only heard of it, is where you do a shot, and there's a whistle involved and spinning you around.
So that's probably the girl version of the hard hat.
That's awful. Anyway, back to the show.
Joe, what was your point with this hard hat? With this helmet thing?
I just like when you talk about put your helmet on. So I just was wondering where you were going with that. All right, let's get back to Katrina's second part of her question. So here is question 2. Should we not go below or above a certain home sale price range? This is
Yes.
a great one. Meaning, avoid areas where the average list price is less than $150,000 because there's not enough spread or buyer's interest, or avoid a higher price areas like over $700,000 because although the profit potential may be generous, the capital outlay to acquire the property is too high, the property may take longer to sell, and the buyer pool may be too small. Thanks.
Well written.
I like this.
Well written, this question is.
I just
We're the
redlined.
smartest people in this group. It's insane.
I love it. I was gonna say I just redlined a property. I'll tell you real quick right now. I had with Land Academy deal funding, I had a property come in about a week and a half ago, and it could have been a great property. It really was a great property in a great area, but here was the problem. It was in a part of the country and they had a negotiated price of $20,000, and the properties directly across the street were selling like homes built out done for $98,000 and $100,000.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. I said so my response was unfortunately no, there's no room there. Number one, and number two, even if I got it for $5,000, it's just not in that kind of an area. $20,000 buying it when the homes are selling for $250,000, $300,000, $400,000. Now we're talking, or even buy it.
First of all, we answer all this in Land Academy 2.0, which is
Oh, yeah.
included in all of our stuff. It's done and people are doing it. It's included in our program. But your numbers are almost spot on. On a low end, 150 is it's too hard unless you're buying houses for $40,000 or $50,000. I mean, you would have to buy a house for $40,000 or $50,000, which means you would have to get a piece of land for 10, maybe 5 to 10, which we do in Phoenix all the time. So it's not out of the question, but $150,000
and the sale
SFR
price is not enough.
is about the bottom for
Yeah.
us. And 700 is about the top. You want the national average is around 250, 275 to 300,
Right.
350. That's where you want to be. And again, in our red, green, yellow spreadsheet test,
That you have, Katrina.
yeah, and the equity planner that comes with Land Academy 2.0, the spreadsheet, you just drop the numbers in there. It essentially tells you what to do. You still have to test it for a reason. It's not an easy button, but you got the gist of it.
She's doing it right.
Yeah.
I think that this question is confirmation. Am I doing this right? And the answer is yes.
Yep.
You are.
Totally agree.
You are doing great. Thank you.
Today's topic, what every wholesaler does wrong. And here's a hint. It's Captain Obvious situation here.
Put your helmet on.
This is the meat of the show.
This is going to use this today. Now this is going to be my saying all day today. Well, everyone, put your helmet on.
That's probably what the people say when we come in for these meetings in the morning.
That's true. They do say that. I'm sure of it. Does everybody have your coffee? Everybody have everything they need? Okay, great. Put your helmet on. Here comes Steve and Jill.
I know. We have the greatest crew right now I've ever had working for us. Ever. And I don't just say that. They don't listen to the show, so there's no reason I would say that.
It's true.
Except that it's true.
Do you want to do the reveal? You do the reveal. And then I'll add on to what you have to say.
Yeah, there's not just one reason. But the number one reason that
Right.
a wholesaler is going to fail, and I see it all the time, is they didn't get there first. A wholesaler, which is us, and the vast majority of the people in our group, have to get to the seller before anybody else. So if a realtor gets there, they got there first. They're trying to hawk it to you. It's not wholesale.
Right.
So then the question becomes, if you can digest that concept and understand it and believe it, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That you have to get there first. The question becomes, okay, great. What's the most efficient way to get to the most people the fastest so that I can review their deals? All right. You're not going to, trust me, you're not going to go through the MLS, look at 10 deals and pick one and wholesale it out unless
Right.
you're, very, very good at gambling. You might get away with that once or twice, and that's it.
It's
And then,
scary.
by the way, that's the worst thing that can happen.
Well, the bottom line is you're never getting it as low as you want as it could be because somebody else got there first. Even if you're negotiated the smallest, commission for that person so you could pick up that property, mark it up and sell it for more, you're still paying more than you could have
So I'll cut to the chase.
by dealing straight with the seller.
The most efficient way to do that is to send out offers to owners,
Right.
blind offers to owners by the tons.
Right.
And the people, the mail will work itself up. If you send out 1,000, there's 10 or 15 people that are going to call back or send them back and say, you know what? I don't like the price that much. Don't care about the price, but you just caught me at the right time.
Right.
You can go to a tax auction. And you know what? We've had a lot of success doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as efficient. You still got to go out and do stuff instead of sending all the mail out and having it come back to you.
Right.
So,
go ahead.
There's some other things that wholesalers really do incorrectly than inefficiently, but we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead.
Well, one of the things that I see happening too to tie with this is wholesalers go out and they make it in their head, try to make it work. So here's what I see. This is like all ties together what they're doing wrong. So they found this deal. Maybe they negotiate it with the person who's holding it. And then you know what they do to make themselves feel better? It drives me crazy. They create this inflated, imaginary ARV number. So it sounds like it's a great deal. No, it's not. It's not. Just because you think the after repair value is $500,000, that drives me nuts. I never believe that number because it's always it is a made up number. It's not real. It's what you think it can be with the Corian or whatever the latest, marble, whatever countertops are.
And then that taps into my next point.
Go ahead.
This will put a wholesaler out of business overnight. Maximizing price, both on the acquisition side and on the sales side.
Yeah.
You should tell yourself this: I need to make 20 grand in this deal.
Right.
Long before the deal, I need to make $20,000 per unit on this mailer. And when the deals start coming back, if one comes in for 15,000, have somebody you can send it to.
Right.
Have somebody else in our group where you can say, 15,000 is not going to be good enough for me right now. 15,000 was me 6 months ago.
Right.
I just raised up. I raised
added
the
a zero.
And so I see people. Let me tell you something. Here's some massive free advice. The speed at which you do these deals is infinitely more beneficial to you financially in the long run than maximizing price.
It's true.
Whether it comes from maximizing how cheap you buy it or maximizing how much you resell it. That requires for you to digest that for a second. That requires you undoing in your head everything that you've ever been taught, consciously or subconsciously, about real estate since you could speak.
Thank you. It
is incredibly difficult, even for me today, to look at an asset and say, I know the retail value on this thing's $750,000. We're going to sell it for $350,000. Those are real numbers. We're doing a deal like that right now.
Right.
Well, maybe we can get $400,000. I don't know, Jill. Maybe we can get $450,000 out of this if we just wait. These are the conversations we have.
Totally. Did we turn down that offer?
And in the end, we just wasted like a bunch of energy and a bunch of time because there's going to be 20 more deals around the corner.
Right.
Spend all your time generating deals.
Yeah.
And this $20,000 example it'll come like water.
Exactly. That was beautiful.
Maximizing price will stop a wholesaler in their tracks. And I see it all the time.
Exactly. I love it. That was great. Thank you.
What else do wholesalers do wrong?
Just like negotiating. Those are my
so much
things.
Negotiation that goes on that's unnecessary.
Ridiculous. That makes me mad.
Oh, my point is what Jill's point was.
They're trying to justify.
I just read
their numbers.
We get a little bag. Everybody gets one, but our little newspaper that's left over from the 1950s in our little beach community is called the Beach Reporter. And there was an insert in there. Somebody spent like a tremendous amount of money. Some real estate agent say, and this was the headline in this 4-color bleed insert. New record set on a home that was sold in the beach communities, and it was 22,500,000 whatever. It's $22 million.
I put that out for you.
It boils my blood. Why do you get a trophy for hosing somebody the most on a piece of on the price of a property?
Exactly.
And then on the other side, why would you get a trophy for hosing somebody on the cheapest acquisition price possible?
Thank you.
That's not why we're here.
That's true.
We're here to respect real estate, respect our careers, respect the people that are buying it and selling it, and within reason, make a reasonable profit margin, but do it very, very, very quickly and efficiently with a smile on your face, and don't waste anybody's time. Real estate agents love to brag about how they reset the price in a market, because for some reason it's a disease.
I know.
For some reason it just makes them validate their bullshit, their bull stuff.
I know.
Sorry, this is rated G.
It's okay.
Validate some kind of insecurity that they have about the fact that being a real estate agent is a pile of malarkey anyway. Wow, this turned into a rant. Sorry.
Do you know what, Stephen? I would like to end it on this. Thank you for saying that. You are such a good person, and I really
left
appreciate
that out
you.
Intentionally, like bait.
What? I did. I saw that. I'm like, oh, wait till he
Did it
sees this.
infuriate you
I did.
too?
I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I did. I left it on the coffee table face up for you to see that dumb little thing.
Dude,
I'm like, are you serious?
It worked.
Really? I'm like, that's just awful. Why are we bragging about that? That's awful. But what I was going to follow up with is, you are such a good person, and that's how I feel about it too. And I would like to show you later. Put your helmet on. Well, you've done it again. Wasted another, 15 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy show.
Join us next time for an episode called 90 Days with a Rehabber or 90 Days versus a Wholesaler. We'll look at the math.
Yep. And we answer your questions posted on our online community, landinvestors.com. It's free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. When you talk like that, I have a lot of stuff to do during this. There's an audio piece and a video piece, and when you say stuff like that, it just totally distracts me, and I think that's what you want.
I do. Yeah, I want to get you out of it. I want to
throw me off, and
not
No,
like that. I don't want to mess with your mojo. I just want to bring out the real. But it is cool. That was a really good point that you made. I'm glad that we're not here to hose people. And we're here to do good offers. Lower, heck yeah. Come on, we're trying to do it right, but still good offers. We're not trying to, take anybody for whatever.
Every deal that we do, almost without exception, and I will give the exception at the end. Every deal that we do, the seller says some version of this. You know what? I try to do this myself, or thank you so much for hope you guys make a lot of money.
Yep.
That's what you're looking for. That's the seller that, every once in a while, the exception is this. Somebody sends an offer in, signed, and Jill or her staff calls them and they say, send the money here. And the exception is we don't know why they sold it.
Mm-mm.
But the vast majority of the time is, my wife and I are so grateful that you guys made this easy.
Thank you.
Thanks. We hope you make a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah, we know you're going to make $100,000 on this. We just don't want to deal with the realtors. We don't want to go through the thing. We don't want to go through all of it. Or maybe there's a little cloud in the title that you guys solved, and thanks, because we couldn't do it ourselves.
Exactly.
There's no tricking anybody here.
Nope. Wherever you are watching or wherever you are listening, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.